Welcome back, everybody. If you just clicked on the last video, we started talking about the Battleground predictions, and we did the kickoff, and we're going to get into one of the more important matches of the night, and just get right into that. We're on part 6 right now of episode 140, and it's time to talk about the Intercontinental Championship, which is currently held by Vacated, his third championship this year after defeating Paige for the NXT Women's Championship and defeating Daniel Bryan for the world title. So Vacant is on a roll, but not everything stays on a roll, not even Funk, according to the last segment. And we've got like 30 people or something like that are in this match. A quick rundown. I'm going to breeze through these as fast as I possibly can, but these are the potential people that can be our next Intercontinental Champion. Cesaro, Kofi Kingston, Damian Sandow, Great Khali, Rob Van Dam, Dolph Ziggler, Big E, Ryback, Curtis Axel, Alberto Del Rio, Bo Dallas, Sheamus, Fandango, Sin Cara, Zack Ryder, The Miz, Adam Rose, Diego, R-Truth, Xavier Woods, Hearsay Heath Slater, and Titus O'Neil. One of those guys is going to be the next Intercontinental Champion, and that's all going to take place at the Battle Royal Battleground. Apparently, Bad News Barrett is going to show up and support Hearsay Heath Slater, but who do you guys think is going to end up winning? I am really hoping it comes down to one of these couple of people. Cesaro, The Miz, Ziggler, Kofi, Sandow, and Fandango.
Well, wait a minute. I do have to point out that I believe it was just announced that Sandow was actually being pulled from the Battle Royal. Him
So
and
it's
Adam
Adam
Rose
Rose.
were going to be in it.
They are?
Yeah, they were
Mhm.
going to be in it, but they just got pulled from it. I think they're going to probably end up throwing that matchup with them on the pay-per-view.
Or they're just
Aha.
gonna do a commercial.
Yeah, for some stupid ass commercial for some other kind of food product or something like that. At least we'll get to see the. So that'd be cool. But all right, two other people taken down then. So actually, somebody I didn't mention in that list of the people that I wouldn't mind seeing is Bo Dallas. So there you go. Bo Dallas takes Damian Sandow's spot. Bo Dallas, Kofi Kingston, Fandango, Dolph Ziggler, The Miz, and Cesaro. Those are the guys I would be happy seeing. But primarily, the person that I want to see this match is The Miz. It used to be Cesaro, and I still think Cesaro is going to win this, but I think The Miz can do better with the Intercontinental title, and I think Cesaro doesn't need it at this point if they put a little bit of effort into him and build him up to having that Brock Lesnar versus Cesaro match at WrestleMania. Because I don't think that we're getting Roman Reigns versus Brock. I think we're getting Roman Reigns versus either Triple H at WrestleMania or John Cena. So a lot of this depends on what their plans are with Cesaro, and if he's not the person that they're going for, then it can almost be a crapshoot between a lot of people. But I'm hoping that The Miz wins here. Who do you guys think is going to win, and who do you hope wins? Wego?
I think the Miz is going to win, and I want the Miz to win.
That's it?
Pretty much. It's a battle royal. There's not much more to say than, yeah, they're gonna throw each other over the top.
Well, there's one thing that I forgot to mention about here that is really interesting, and that's with Sheamus being involved in it. If he wins, does that mean that they're going to just combine the titles, or does that mean he's going to have both and they're going to do some kind of a stupid schmoz thing where he can lose like an Intercontinental Championship match and still be the U.S. champion or whatever? Would you like to see that happen, or would you like to see him not even come close to having both titles, or what?
I don't want Sheamus to win jack shit, but if it means the belts get unified and we're done with all that bullcrappery, I'd be fine with it.
So all those questions, who do you want to win? Who do you think's going to win? And what do you think's going to happen with the U.S. and IC titles? Miguel?
I think the bigger bit of news out of this that we need to all really take into account is Zack Ryder's on the pay-per-view in this matchup.
Huh.
Let's just take that into account. Zack Ryder made it onto a pay-per-view. That's a win right there. So that's something worth
Ain't a win
mentioning.
for us.
Yeah, it's a win for it. We all win when Zack Ryder wins. In terms of who I think is going to win, I have a feeling because of the fact that they did make somewhat of a big deal about his return, probably The Miz, especially if you go by a lot of the hearsay about him and Ric Flair soon enough, but that's neither here nor there. Honestly, though, the guy that I want to see win, I want a Bo leave. I want to see Bo Dallas walk away with the belt. Even though he really doesn't need it, I would love to see him with the IC strap. And in terms of the whole Sheamus thing, that's just Sheamus filling up a spot. I mean, think about how many times they had battle royals for the WWE title or even the Royal Rumble or something like that, and they've thrown the World Heavyweight Championship champion into there. You know, they're not there. They don't throw people like that into there for the purposes of thinking, oh, they might unify things. It's a spot. He's going to be there just to be a warm body for somebody to throw over the ropes. And I think at the end of the day, it's probably going to be Miz winning, and I guess that's fine. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Miz, but they see something in him, so at least somebody's getting pushed.
Sean, what do you think's happening here? Who do you want to see win?
I think the Miz is going to win it. And for hoping wise, I really hope the Great Khali wins it. And what I would think would happen if Sheamus wins, I think he would retire both the Intercontinental and the US Championship and bring back the European belt to get a lot of heat on us, turning him heel and ditching his stupid ass face character.
You've been playing
had me when you
some
said
WWE old games storylines and decided just to throw that out there.
No, that was a great storyline.
You had me when you started off with saying Sheamus retires. I was like, I'm completely for that.
He could have a retirement match with RVD and Del Rio, and all three could be counted out. It'd be fantastic. Peyton,
Can we throw Khali in there while we're at it?
Yeah, sure.
I know it's going to be an ugly matchup, but, you know.
Throw in Rey Mysterio. It would be a 5-way match. Do you have 6-person? We could do a 6-person. I don't know.
Mark Henry, why not?
Jerry
Mark
Lawler.
Henry's awesome. Yeah, Mark Henry. He can retire. He can do the commentary for that and retire.
How can you hate RVD but fucking like Mark Henry?
One is more talented.
Fucking hate Mark Henry.
One is slightly less overrated than the other.
Well, Peyton, who do you think's winning here? Who do you want to see win? And what do you think's the status of the championships going forward?
The beauty of this match is that there's so many people that believably could win this, and that I think people would be okay with winning it. I mean, you got people like Kofi, Fandango, Dolph Ziggler, but when you really come down to it, I think there's 4 viable choices to win this. That is Cesaro, Bo Dallas, The Miz, and Sheamus. And I would really be happy with any of these. Obviously, I'd be happy with Cesaro and Bo Dallas because they're on my team. Sheamus, I think, would be cool just to get that unification out of the way. And, you know, maybe him and Cena could, like, show off their title scarves together and, like, do fashion shows, pose. I don't think that's very likely. I think if you're going to unify those titles, it should be in a one-on-one match and not a battle royal situation like this. Unless this is just some, like, last-minute decision and they wanted to rush it. I think that's a waste. I think if you were going to do that at Night of Champions. That's the place to unify those titles.
Yes.
So that brings it down to Miz, Bo Dallas, and Cesaro. And if I had to pick one, I have to go with Cesaro. I mean, this has been the guy who's been a favorite for the longest time. He's demonstrated that he's the guy who's excellent at Battle Royals by winning that Andre the Giant Battle Royal. And if you remember, Andre the Giant won every Battle Royal he was ever in. So to give him that distinction of being the new Andre the Giant in a Battle Royal, it would be completely stupid to have him lose the very next Battle Royal that he's in. Also, they've been having him lose every goddamn match that he's been in on TV for the last, like, month. And they always do that. Whenever they're about to give someone any kind of push, they make them lose like crazy right before they do it. Think of how they did that with Dolph Ziggler, how they did that with CM Punk. They do it all the time. So my favorite for that is Cesaro. Miz would be a second place. I would have been more confident with Miz if they kind of made a big deal about his return, but they also kind of shat on him too. Like, they had all this build up. Miz came out, and then 2 minutes into the segment, all of a sudden it's about Jericho and the Wyatts. So he finally got his pickup victory this week, and I think Miz is going to have a good year, but I much more am picking Cesaro for this.
So who do you guys think should win this? Who do you think will win it? Leave those comments below. We're going to continue on here and talk about Y2J himself and Bray Wyatt in the next match.